Hi guys, welcome back to your September 2022 reading. This time we're going to be taking a look at week 2, spanning from September 12th on a Monday to September 18th on Sunday. So as you guys know, if you rock with me and you know this, you know these readings are timeless and they're signless. So it doesn't matter what your natal placements are, and it doesn't matter when you're actually watching this video. If you have had enough energy frequencies that align with this video and the information that's in this video to manifest it in front of you, then hey, something's in here for you. I invite you to remain open and flexible, but also to maintain your discernment, and that's just the way it is. If you haven't checked out the monthly reading for September 2022, please do go ahead and check that out. Actually, I thought that was really fun and very interesting because our channeling guides for that video are blue avian guides. They're one of our galactic cousin races. We hear about the Pleiadians and we hear about the Lyrans, we hear about the Andromedans, we hear about Arcturians, shout out. I was like, oh my God, hello. And so blue avian group, so definitely come and check in. And remember, as you move through these all of these videos that I put out and that other people put out, and any information you come across in general, please make sure that you're always using your own discernment and your own heart, because I do want to let you guys know that we are in an age where we are going to be opening up to more galactic energies in a conscious way, meaning like, oh my God, we're talking about it. It's on TV a lot. It's in the news every night, so, and eventually guess where it's going to go? We're going to finally meet each other in the physical and in many ways, but contact is already occurring. But anyway, that's all irrelevant. Please, please, please remember, keep it simple. Kiss, kiss, kiss. Keep it simple. And short is the other S. I swear. Keep it short and simple. So please don't make it more than it needs to be. Like, oh my God, I'm a contactee. Oh my gosh, I'm channeling this and this is my forefathers and ancestors. Like, we don't need all that. Okay? Just connect with the information. See if it feels right through the heart space. Because once you start really connecting with galactics, you really have to have discernment, discernment. Just like people, you're not going to send your cute little kids out into the world without teaching them how to discern and assess, So come on. Anyway, let's jump in. I love how I was just shuffling these cards. Home. Oh my gosh, I love that. All right. First of all, I just love those cards. So, noise warning, maybe. Yeah, so anyway, so if you haven't checked out the September 2022 monthly reading, please go ahead and check that out. I've already posted the week 1 reading as well as a few moon readings. We're going to be having a moon and Taurus reading coming up soon, and I just posted the moon and Aries. So even though like week 1 is almost over, technically tomorrow it'll be over, please remember these are energies we're dealing with, and so if you ever feel called to revisit any of them, go ahead and do so. All right? In fact, the energies are overlapping. All right, let's go. Oh, okay. Let's see what's going on for us in week 3. What can we expect, generally speaking, in week 3? So it looks, I was just about to say, it looks like we're doing a lot of cleanup energy. We have the 10 of Wands here as I turn this over, the 10 of Swords. But I definitely feel that, I definitely feel that for a lot of you, the worst is over. I just got the word skull and bones. So that's for somebody there. Please don't just automatically jump and be like, oh my God, it's a lodge and, all of that. It could be a reference to that, but it could also just be a reference that's used to get someone's attention who's listening. Spirit likes to do that. And so if I say random stuff, it's actually not random. Oh, you heard my pitch just change when I said it's actually not random. That was one of them stepping in to chime in. Thank you. Yeah, so anyway, yes. So skull and bones is for somebody there. Also, the worst is over. It's almost like we've gotten through, thank you, this 10 of swords, which signifies the end of a painful cycle. The ending may even have been painful, but I'm getting that whatever happened, whatever you just closed out, and the way that it happened was designed to be a little bit of a panacea for you. Okay, it was designed especially to heal all that's going on with you in some way. It's almost like a complete removal of you from somewhere. And in fact, as we see here, look at this collaborative energy with the 3 of see how I keep hitting all the cards? That's showing your energy kind of wanting to move on to the next step in whatever your evolution is. So your spirit's like, let's go. There's a lot of energy wanting to rush through, right? In fact, look at this rushing energy with the knight of swords. But I was going to say, look at how here you are, super cute, all robed up here, walking through this opening here with one of your guides, and you see other people working and collaborating. So this is what we're talking about. You just moved through something and you were pulled through, but you also did the footwork. So yeah, excellent, really good job there. But the worst is over. Now what we see is a little bit like a post cleanup crew coming in. So in this period, during this week and into the 4th week, even 2nd, 3rd, and 4th week, I do see that, I'm seeing aviation. So somebody's going to be traveling. There's going to be some traveling going on. I'm hearing around the 25th, that's for somebody. But also I'm hearing that there are going to be apologies. Part of this post cleanup, this was the cleanup, this is the post cleanup, the 10 of Wands. The post cleanup, part of that is making amends. Yes, and it does include giving apologies. Okay, so as we move through, I'm going to energetically, what I'm doing, I'm seeing myself doing is snipping away excess energy. Yeah, I wanted to say something else, but it's energy. Snipping away excess energy. So if your little kid draws, like they put their hand there and they're young, so they're like, it's all extra big, and then later when you go to help them cut it out, you're going to cut out all the extra big stuff so that we could get it nice and cinched. So I almost want to get in here and cut out the extra energy from around you guys. So when I say certain things, I'm going to kind of help shape it to nuance it. Okay, so hold on one second. Let me reach for a thought that I was holding on to. See if I still can get it. I do have it. Thank you. So for example, when I said yes, this post cleanup that's going to be occurring over the next 3 weeks does include you giving apologies. Like I wanted to say, it does include you giving apologies to people. I want to snip away before you even get that knee-jerk reaction like, oh, I need to be the one to be apologized to, or what did I do, or why do I always have to, so those are 3 different things. Okay, so look, first of all, hey guys, we're training here, this is the learning part. Hey guys, so over the next 3 weeks you're going to be giving apologies. I see apology energy in the air as we clean up after this cleanup session, and part of that, I do have to be honest, looks like you giving apologies and making amends to other people. Knee-jerk reaction for some of you automatically right off the bat is some of you may be like, oh well, I'm the one who it should be owed an apology. Defensive energy, right? Entitlement, superiority. Another one of you said, I don't owe anything, I didn't do anything. Denial, superiority, acting like you're, the ish. What is the word for that? Oh God, I'm trying to think of it's like I'm feeling the energy, I just can't. Yeah, arrogant. Is it arrogant? Arrogant, cocky, maybe even a little narcissistic-y. I don't like to throw that term around because I do believe it's listed in the DSM, and since none of us over here, unless some of you, I know some of you who do listen may have credentials, but I feel like the internet tries to throw those words around, but you get the point. It's all about me. Another one, like, why am I always the one who has to give the apology? It's never about me. Victim mentality. Get rid of it. Right? Just get rid of it right off the bat. Those are some examples of knee-jerk reactions already. Yeah? So that's what I mean. Like when a piece of information is given to you, like I just said, look for, boom, the next moment. What's the next moment? What's your next thought? What's your next emotion? What's your feeling? Where do you feel it? What story do you have to back that up? Yeah, because if it's always about me, why do I always have to be the one to apologize? No one apologized to me. Like, for example, when blah, 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 blah. We don't need to hear it. Get off it. Get over it. And, you guys know me. I can be compassionate, and I'm very good at coddling and all this, but right now that's just not the freaking energy. The energy is saying STFU. I'm just kidding. I'm actually not kidding. That's what the energy feels like, but in a loving way. It's more like, hey, let's stop with the stories. Just look at the information and stop with the story. Because the story is just showing where your mind's at. And as we told you guys before, if you are still stuck in your story, then you have not had your pain witnessed in the way that it needs to be. Because if you're still kind of having those kinds of knee-jerk reactions, you're still trying to punish people. You're still trying to attack people. You're still trying to withhold. You're still trying to be something, some big boss, some whatever. But those are cover-up energies for a wound. And we get here to these cover-up energies and these bad habits because we didn't have our story told in the right way to soothe us, to the right people, and within the right time. And you probably didn't get the reaction that you needed. So it's time to understand what's going on there. Why am I acting out in this way? And guys, again, I have neighbors. They're usually in the yard at this time, so just in case you hear the noise. And so you need to do your homework. This world is about getting your homework done. What's your homework? Your homework is that part of the road that only you can do. So we're literally bringing all the information to you, but what you can do now is you can sit and you can really try to parse through that on some level for yourself. And for the most part, even if you can't just get rid of these patterns, because a lot of times they're conditioned, they're really embedded, they've been reinforced or fossilized, right? But what you can do is start to notice it. The noticing is like a huge chunk. Alrighty, poos? All right, so anyway, that's coming up over the next 3 weeks. Be ready. Be ready. All right. Yeah. Let me see what else Spirit is saying. Spirit is also bringing up a message that they haven't spoken on in a while, but it's called authenticity. They were beating the drum about integrity, I believe, back in, was it May? I think May, was it May or June? May, probably a lot of integrity. But right now, they're asking us to look at authenticity, because as we start to peel back the layers of what's not us, which includes the stories. And then we have Uranus hanging overhead, really giving us that boost that we need to pop the can off of these fake parts of ourselves so that we can rediscover who we are, so that we can have more of our higher selves downloading. I see your guides working on that crown chakra right now, working on different parts of your energetic field so that they can clear out the blockages, the occlusions, so that when this energy is ready to shoot down and come in, that it can get as crisp and as gentle and as fitting a path as possible within your sphere. Okay, your sphere, yeah. That's what they're saying, your sphere, your auric field. Okay. Anyways, yeah, so yeah, homework, you have to get that going. So authenticity, so again, as the conditions, the cosmological conditions are really ripe right now for introducing major change into your life so that you can bring in more of your self, more of your authenticity. And part of that, of course, is going to include releasing that which no longer serves you. We're in a pruning season right now. If you've been keeping up with what the guides have been channeling recently, they've been saying that we have a lot of energy that's going to be coming in December and even more in January. So please expect to be busy and very active and dynamic within your energetic space at that time. And once energy is kicked up, that means a whole bunch of stuff is coming up to the surface. If you're not careful, you're going to get lost in your illusions. You need to get to this point where you're just like, oh shoot, I'm feeling weird. Oh, okay, moon in Cancer, got it. Or okay, yeah, we got an eclipse coming up in 2 weeks. I get it. Okay. I just sat down and did this energy healing session or this Reiki. The energy's kicking up. I'm just going to give it a week or two. You need to get to that point. As the guide said, we need to become sophisticated in our energy. And at this point, sophisticated in our awareness of the energy as it flows through our systems, our healing systems, right? Our systems should always be flowing, and they are flowing. The problem is people don't know what's up and down and in and out in their energy systems. And so just like a cute little person in the ocean, they're getting tossed and thrown. What? By tossed and thrown? I don't know. By these waves. It's like, wake up, you're in the ocean. Hello. When the wave comes, you see the wave, you understand the wave, you get under the water, you make a plan, let the wave pass, you get up, oh my God, I'm wet, that's right, I'm in the ocean, keep it pushing. And so that's why being able to get more and more aware of yourself is just going to be smooth running for you in a big way. I'm sorry, I gotta isolate this. What is this? It wants to come through? I don't know. Oops. 5 of Pentacles. Oops, they want me to pull some cards over here. Let's pull it. 5 of Pentacles talks about low self-worth. It's poverty consciousness. Hey, let's throw in victim mindset. Anything that pulls you into that low vibration of just not being for reals, that's, it's the victim story. It's the storytelling. Okay, sorry. All right. Okay. Yeah, look at the guides coming through. 2211. Oh, thank you. I see what they're saying. Oh, okay, I see what they're saying. They're saying when they give us information, when they bring information through, no wonder we have the home card because it's like coming right through from them. When they bring information through for us, what happens is it gets distorted because it comes through as a frequency. It comes through, passes through our energetic field. And if your energetic field is filled with God knows what, as everybody's is, right? Everyone's is. It colors the energy that they're sending through, and all of a sudden it's like playing telephone. It comes through, and by the time it hits your conscious mind, you're like, God hates me. God doesn't listen. And they're like, we actually just told you to check the newspaper to find that new house that you're looking for. Comes through all of your low self-worth, all of your conditioning, all that you see in the news, all of that, the friends you talk to that it should not be confided in, comes back to you, and you wake up from a nightmare one morning and you're like, oh, I'll never get a house, I'm not good enough, I don't have the money, and if God wanted me in a house, they would have showed me where to go and they would have had it happen. God, today give me 3 signs that I can be a homeowner, and they're sending things back and forth and you just can't receive it. You're receiving energy, but it's masked. Like, it's so masked. Look at this. Guides talking to you, a guide talking to you, guide talking to you. This time they're even showing you're in your own prison, right? Guide talking to you. I mean, integrity. What's this? Guides talking to you. This time, loving elementals, you see? When you can put yourself, let's separate here. When you can put yourself into this place of learning about your authenticity, starting with, oh, I am a child of the Most High. I am a child of the highest source of love in all of the universe. Don't even go forward to give it a name. Don't do it. And you try to give it a name, now you're sinking back down to earth. You have to get out of the systems of earth, and you feel your way to this. I am a child, I am a creation, I am a flame, I am a ray of light of the highest source. We don't care what the word is. We don't care what the anything is. Just feel it. Because the fish know what it feels like, and they're not out here like, so, hey, you know, the Most High, he said. No, they know it. They just feel it. You have to get back to that. That's authenticity. And when you get into that pure state, look what happens. When the energy comes through, it doesn't have to go through our low self-worth and play telephone with all of our stress and our panic and stuff just to get here. No, it comes, keeps its frequency, as much of the frequency as it can keep, and it comes straight down to you. And look who's giving you the information. Master Artisan. Look at the elementals, the guides and everything that you're listening to. Loving. They are always loving, regardless of what path they take. It's you that is not perceiving correctly. And when I say you, I'm really talking to me too. It's we who have, these issues. So the point is, there is never anything wrong with the information coming through. You have not been forsaken. You have not been forgotten. You have not been misled. You have not been lied to. I don't care what you say. It is not them. It is the many layers of misperceptions and low self-worth. Look at this card. This is the grief card, guys. Low self-worth, grief card. Any one of these two filters is enough to distort anything. So please, 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 as we move through this week, focus on snipping away all that, the story, right? The stories, let it go. Just agree that you're not seeing right. If it sounds unloving, like sad news, like stress, like they're saying, no, you're not good enough, it's not them, let it go. And I'm telling this because the energy is going to ramp up. It's going to seem even more like that's the truth. Because guess what? A lot of energies are coming into your field. So you have to be prepared. Get sophisticated about it. And that starts by being like, like if you just had some random stranger come up to you and they're like, you're nothing but, of course you're going to be like, who are you? I've never met you in my life. And I might be in my feelings because somebody's shouting at me like I'd go home and cry because you guys know me. I'm like, oh my God, what just happened? But the point is, you would know logically this person doesn't know you, so what are they talking about? And then you'd probably tell your friend, and your friend's like, dude, they're probably like on bath salts or something. I don't know what's going on with these people these days. And then it would be dismissed. And that's the kind of level you have to have when you're hearing these things. If you have a great idea come to you like, oh, wow, this is creative. I'll try this. I'll do this. And then in the span of 2 minutes, you're like, oh, I'll never be able to. Oh, that's a waste. No one's going to listen. Oh, I have to keep it up. And then that's all fake stuff. That's you. The idea came, and now you know what path it took. Because by the time it got to your conscious mind, you've already shot it down. Yeah? So when you feel these creative insights, these happy energies, why don't I invite everyone out for dinner? Hold it. Hold on to it. Count how long you were able to hold on to that joy and to take the steps to calling people before you start screwing it up with your thoughts. So they're never home. Oh, well, last time they might not even want to come out with me. Oh, she's dating someone now, so she's forgotten about me. Oh, this person doesn't like to go out, so whatever. Oh, well, anyway, anytime I invite, no one listens. And I think I'll just stay home. Whatevs. It's easy. Just like that. Especially if you tell a friend who's just lame and you're like, hey, I'm thinking about getting everyone together. You sure? Are you sure? I don't know. Last time we just get out. Just get out. And that's the energy you have to be in. You got to be like a warrior. You gotta have that sword and like cut some throats. Just kidding. You get what I mean. Figuratively, because guess what, all those swords are going into you. And those swords are you allowing yourself to be beat down by these energies. Like, don't do it. A few days ago, the guides were in one of the daily readings. I think it was yesterday, actually. The guides were saying that it's the daily written readings that I post. They were saying that they invite you guys to calibrate with them. So your team sent a lot of energy to your field recently, and they want you to see if you can feel that energy coming in. What does it feel like? What are you noticing in your physical world? What are you seeing more of? What signs? Are you seeing people talking to you in a certain way? Are you having your worst nightmares come true? Are you like, look at what's happening. It's like saying, hey, like they're in a cute little boat and they're like, hey, we're gonna send a wave towards you. See how you do with it. Can you even see it? Can you see how it moves through your field? Do you notice, did you get any physiological changes, headaches, obsessive thoughts, creative insights? Did all of a sudden 3 people out of the blue contact you and you're like, what? Are you more intuitive now? Are you know what? Do you remember who you are? Like, what do you notice? And so the guides are trying to get us to eliminate, the guides are saying, they're saying eliminate the excess noise. Plain and simple is what they're saying. And that's verbatim. And the way they're doing it, they just want to like blow all this stuff off, like blow all these cards off the desk, eliminate the noise to show. For example, obviously they're not going to do that because we're using the cards to help. But on a serious note, they want us to become surgical with it. And that means the minute you hear something and it's foul, like, I don't want to hear it. I'm turning my attention away. Because as you turn your attention away from something, you're minimizing its ability to come into your energetic field because you're no longer giving it permission to do so. Okay? And meanwhile, you may be like, yeah, but I've been doing that and it's still coming in. Well, this person still keeps coming around, and I keep getting people who are just like the same person. Well, that means that you haven't finished clearing. You know, it's not like, oh, I decided to cut out all bad men forever. Yeah. And that's it. I closed down all my accounts and I stopped doing what I was doing, so everything's perfect. Yeah. Wait till the opportunity comes again and let's see how you handle it. Okay? And remember, these things that manifest, these relationships, these problems at work, all of these things that keep manifesting in your life, they are not the thing. Those are just manifestations, like a skin that is attached to an energetic structure underneath. So when you break up the structure underneath, it's literally energy. So when we reach into your energy field, we could see it. You know, when you break up the structure of what's going on inside by looking at it, confronting it, facing it, processing it, allowing spirit to come in and do the work, you know, clearing cutting cords, whatever you need to do, and really generating from that heart space a desire to move forward in the path along the path of your health and well-being. When you do all of that, you're treating the cause, and you're not just getting rid of the symptoms. That's an analogy, the symptoms being the manifestations. If you get rid of the energetic structure, all of a sudden things can't attach, they can't build upon that. And that's why you see this, guys, we see this all the time. When you see a couple, God bless them, and then one of them really starts taking control of their life, they really start exercising, being on time with their doctor's appointments, they're keeping their word with things, they're looking to up their job and their resume, and they're really putting in the work, they're soul searching, they're meditating, they're on that grind. Eventually, what they're doing is they're turning their attention to something other than whatever distractions, low vibe energy they were doing before, and that pulls them out of that. It's like moving them further away out of that, and then it's like a 1-2 punch when they bring in the big guns, and they're like, you know, Father, Holy Father, whatever it is for you guys, Archangel Michael, Archangel Raphael, you know, Archangel Metatron, Archangel Gabriel, Mother Mary, Jesus Christ, whoever it is for you, higher self. When we start bringing in those big guns and letting them work in our field, it's a wrap. And guess what? Then the partner that this person is with has to do something, because the person who's doing this work is doing this. They're just moving upwards. You guys are that way. So they're moving upward in elevation. And if this partner is staying at the same frequency, guess what's happening? Now this is moving faster and this is now slower. It doesn't work. It's gonna like send this partner out. And that's why you see a lot of couples break up, because on an energetic level, they are no longer in harmonic resonance. So the person who is not doing the work and not changing and not allowing for themselves to be flexible enough to be in alignment can no longer stay within the energetic field of their partner, because the field no longer has an energetic structure upon which they can connect. And that's why people grow apart. And that's why there's not enough energy to keep someone together. And that's why we just fell out of alignment with each other. That's why now we're arguing more. That's why one's like, oh, you've changed. You're not the same person. And of course I'm not the same person. Like, why the hell would I be the same person? Why are you the same person? Like, it's been 4 years. What are we doing? Right? And so it's time to really start taking yourself by the collar in a loving way, but at the scruff of your neck. And that brings us to the next point. Stop thinking about other people. And when I say that, like, stop worrying about what other people are doing. It's not your business, okay? Straight up. When we keep focusing on what other people are doing and not doing, now you're in someone else's business, and you're like, ma'am, I'm sorry, we're gonna have to ask you to get back into your lane, please. Thank you. You know, yeah, because then you're putting your attention on other people and judging. That's where the judgment starts. And when you're over here judging those people, guess what you're not doing? You're not focusing on yourself. So another thing that we need to learn, in addition to learning how to be in union with self, by starting with at least trying to pay attention to ourselves, we have to learn how to responsibly be in union with others. And one of those hallmarks is learning to balance when it is for you to how to interact with others. And I'll give you a quick example. You know, we have our buddies, right? Everyone has their buddies, and we do like to talk, you know, chop it up. And maybe we like to, you know, we like the tea. That's it. We like the tea. But hold on a second. If your connection is only about certain things, like every time you meet up with this particular person, you're just bitching. Oh, I don't want wait, I don't monetize ever anyway. So you're just bitching and moaning about what happened and who said what, or I don't feel good today, or this happened. And so now you're like always making that relationship about moaning and low vibe. Or if you're always gossiping, anytime you see this person, oh my God, and you're just talking about other people the whole time. You know, with this person, is there creativity? Are you able to talk about like, hey, so I'm doing this now, and are you able to get a good, can they listen? Can they offer anything? Is it generative? Can you talk about current events with them? Like, hey, I saw this in the news. I thought this was pretty interesting. Are you able to talk about things that are just interesting with these people? Or is it always talking about like, oh, did you see this in the news? Oh my God, right? You know, so this is a way, that's a barometer right there. So you have to learn how to be in healthy union with other people, so that when you get into these friendships and into, these relationships, you're not always coming home to your partner, using them to be your, you know, your therapist, your person to listen to the sad story. Now, this doesn't mean that you can't have intimate conversations with this person, and you can't co-regulate with this person. What I'm trying to say is that you don't want to just have these one-dimensional relationships that anytime you come together with this person, that now they're like this dumping ground for your emotional reset. You have to see what the difference is. So a good way to think about it is, what does this relationship do for me? And not like, oh, what does it do for me? It's like, what am I making this relationship about? When I walk away from this relationship, or when I walk away from a conversation with this person, like let's say if I meet up or talk with them 10 times, just keeping a little record, what are all the things we talked about? What are the emotions we went through? Were we ridiculing people? Were we laughing at someone else's expense? Were we judging? Were we like, if it were me, is it a lot of if it were me? Are we sitting and moping? Are we woe is me? Are we just trading sob stories and this and that? Are we kind of backbiting each other? Is there passive aggression going on? Are we insulting each other? Are we like, hey fool, hey this, man, you're not gonna get it. Is there manipulation? Look for these things. Is it just light and superficial? It's like, yeah, wow, we're great. We're getting to talk about another piece of small talk, and this is supposed to be a significant connection for me, but I walk away feeling like I don't feel fulfilled by this connection. Is there fulfillment, right? Always remember, and here we are cutting away the excess. You will always get fulfillment with connections, in the sense that you will always feel full with food if you just keep eating it, right? There's a filling that happens, but the quality of that fulfillment is what we want to look at. Like if you want a boyfriend, hey, you can get one of those right away. If you want a new job, yeah, maybe you can get one of those right away. If you want, I don't know, what do people want these days? If you want to be seen, you can get on YouTube, you can get on Instagram, TikTok, I don't know, you can get in the middle of Times Square, you can be seen, you can do all of this. Especially if you live in certain countries where you just, the worst someone will do is look at you like you're weird and maybe like insult you or something, right? But it's the quality of it. So you're going to eat, let's put it this way, but you can choose what type of food you want. If you want a partner, sure, but choose. If you want friendship, sure, but choose. And that reminds me, today I was going to write the daily, and it just wasn't coming. It's like I'd start and I'd stop and I'd start and I'd stop, and I realized, why am I pushing it? It's not. So maybe today is not supposed to be like, maybe I need to sit on that energy a little bit, because they were talking about choice, and here it is now, we're talking about choice. We're talking about choice and how choice is inevitable. We're always making choices, even when we omit to choose, because an omission to act is also an action. It's a choice. But we have to become more sophisticated in how we approach our decisions, because it's just it's so deep, and we think that something we may make a decision that seems so logically sound, and it seems so ethically sound, and it just makes sense. It's common sense. It's something that people would support. But then you realize later that was the wrong decision. And so you have to start asking yourself, what if decision making is so subjective, where's the objectiveness here? What should I use as my foundation? And I'm just going to tell you, the answer to that is your heart. But you see, that sounds really lame. Like, it's like, oh, go through your heart. Oh, there's the heart right there, yeah. Connect to your source. But the thing is, people think, oh, I want to feel into my heart, and they sit and they're so cute. I'm making the cute little pose that you can't see because I'm off camera. But they're sitting there like, yeah, hands at their chest, yeah. Let's think. I wish I may, I wish I might, because I feel nice and happy and bubbly when I make this wish, yeah. But that's not what it means to get into your heart. That just means that in this moment, you're able to bubble up cute and get a lot of, happy energies and whatever, positive feelings and vibes about that. But to really ensure your success, the step that you need to take is get to know yourself first. You have to learn who you are. And when I say learn who you are, I don't mean like just, sitting down for a day and like, oh, no, I mean really drop into yourself. think about who you were or who you were being, how long you've come. Like what has your conditioning been? When were the times in your life, if you can recall, where you were most unguarded, where you felt the safest, where you might be shocked to realize that there's so few and far in between, if ever. You may find yourself going back to your single digit years. Yeah, the last time I felt that way was when I was 6, before we moved out of our house and we moved to this place. And yeah, because, that's a start. That's a place to start. Call on your spirit team, your higher self, source energy, God, to help you to see. Because a lot of times we are just pure conditioning. We're running on conditioning. And when I say that, meaning we were conditioned along the way, and then on top of that we progressed along a path that maybe we were like this first, and then we started changing in high school and this and that, and through life experiences we were on a trajectory now, and now we find ourselves here. But this isn't who we are. If we're really connecting with who we are and who we were, and if we had been able to really explore that and maintain that integrity, we'd be over here all together. And so when Spirit says, let us help you, let us show you who you are, come back to who you are, that's what they mean. They know that you're not here. They know you don't like doing activity A, B, and C that you swear you love doing, because they see in your energy field how much stress it creates. They also see that the inflammation in your left ankle is related to that, and you don't realize it. And that headache you tend to get after work is not because of work, it's because of the upcoming weekend when you signed up to do these games, these baseball games, or I don't know, what do people do on weekends, or this group meeting with these friends of yours, that's actually the cause. But you can't see it because it's not in the realm of your possibility for you that could be it, because those are your fun activities. Everyone has fun when we get together and do that. But the guides see who you really are, and they're like, no, you don't like that. You actually prefer to sit at home with a nice mug of orange peel tea, which you've never had in your life, but we know you, and we know that you love that. You love that in your last 4 lifetimes, and we've been trying to get you to rediscover orange peel tea in this lifetime, but we can't even get you off the darn coffee. So how could we bring in a favorite pastime of yours? We wanted you to get into piano because you love piano, and we see that you're dying for an instrument, but you wouldn't even pick it up, even though we've sent it to you in so many signs, because you never took instruments in class, or you used to play the flute and now you're a flautist and you're like whatever. And so you see, we block ourselves from being able to receive the inconceivable. We cannot conceive of who we really are, but they know who we are. We're stuck on the wrong path. And so that's why when the guides are trying to get you back to there, they're not going to be like, yeah, you need to make a left and at Albuquerque. They're like, no, we want you to stop everything you're doing, clear everything, get quiet so we can bring information into you. Do you understand, guys? Why? So that we can place ourselves through our effort and willingness into a position where we can finally be able to perceive the inconceivable, okay? Whatever it is. I'm just pointing anywhere. Okay. Over there. So let me just drink some water. Yeah, so we just need to connect. You'd be surprised. Yeah, like I love gaming. I love playing games. And I do this here. I look at the inner child, yeah. I love doing this. I love doing, these readings because I love healing most, and it's my favorite thing to do in the world. But look, let me get on a console. I would love to stream that if anyone would want to watch it. I would love to sit and just play games and have gamer friends, and I would love to do that. And so if you don't know what you would love to do, how do you know? Maybe some of you would love to make your own clothes and you had no idea. Maybe you'd love to plant house, like crops in the back of your your little home, and then you may not even know it. But what would bring you so much joy would be to travel from community to community and teach them how to do that. Like, but here you are working as an accountant, you know, and there's nothing wrong with accountants. Come see me, you know, dear God, right? But the point is, sometimes we don't know who we are. We don't know where our greatest joy is because we can't even conceive of it because we're so far off. And so that's what the guides are trying to do. They're trying to bring us back. Bring her back, boys. Oh, okay, let's see. I just felt like a little bit of energy come in. So, okay. Let's go to these cards. Yeah, excited. It doesn't take much to get me excited, actually. I'm like, wait, why am I so excited right now? And I'm so thirsty. My voice is like cracking. I just, ugh. Come on, Janelle. All right, so let's, yes. Okay, so if you guys would like to receive some energy streams right now, go ahead and say yes. Well, the energies are here. You guys know when we're on these readings, these videos for me, with me, there's always an energetic exchange. Soul star chakra, get it? I was going to say stop it. I was going to say, dude, if I see the earth star chakra, we were just talking about that. Emily, you know, right? The soul star chakra being above the head and the earth star chakra being below the head, below the feet. Also, if you watched my September, which one? The Moon in Aries, thank you. If you watched the Moon in Aries, the guys are like, why do you always get surprised? We're telling you this. I know. I'm like, why? Why would I? Because I'm like, I'm still at like, what are the odds that I'm thinking about this card into the next one? And it happens so often. They're like, hello, because we're telling you. True that. But what was I going to say? In the Moon in Aries reading, towards the end, they pulled this card, the Earth Star Chakra. And I remember thinking, why was that card coming out? Balanced forces, get it? Look at how nice and grounded that is. Top, bottom, everything in between. Right? All of our 7 chakras in between here. God is good. Let's get a little T cross. Our ancient future, and the infinite. Wow. So what I'm seeing here is almost like, thank you, Spirit, almost like guardian forces on these two sides. So let's take a moment. I apologize. And you know what? I'm not going to apologize. I cannot control these people outside. They want to come out and play. Let them do it. So we're just going to channel these energies in for you. Sorry, guys. So if you'd like to sit and receive it, go ahead and say yes. And we're just going to send these energies down to help you anchor in. Ooh, somebody here, could be me as well. They're saying the more green you go with your diet, the better of a conduit you can be. And I know they're definitely talking to me, but also a few of you. So let's go green. I'm not necessarily saying you have to become this big vegetarian or take it to the max of vegan or raw or anything. I'm just saying put more green in your diet. Okay? Okay, we're just bringing it in. Right now we're removing plaque from your body. Build up. Okay, occlusions throughout the body. Arteries, all of that. They're saying they're not doing a full sweep. We're going through places of interest. Thank you. Places of interest. Okay, I'm getting gonads for someone here as well. I think the gonads are somehow connected here as well to the, I was going to say sacral, but I'm just getting it. There's whatever they're doing, they're connecting it. conditioning link to the Earth Star. Thank you. Okay. We're going to open up some codes within you, and it's interesting. I'm looking away because I'm not allowed to see whatever's written within the codes for some of you, for you guys here. So just know that your information is private, even though we're on this collective call. God is good. All right. All right, just a few more seconds here. They're doing a lot of clearing as well. See a lot of hallucinatory energy. Seeing lots of fears. We understand we're coming out of the moon in Pisces, and we're just going through a lot of work in the field as well. So they're just clearing out. I'm seeing a lot of spiders inside, so they're clearing all of that out as well for you. Vacuuming them all up. All right. From within those codes, wherever they're keeping the codes, they're they're like the crown. Okay. Sorry. The crown chakra. I knew that. Let's see. Okay. They're also helping with any blurred lines between reality and unreality, because usually there is a sharp enough boundary for us to know the difference. But again, we are coming off the moon in Pisces. We're feeling this energy here. Still, remember, Pisces is about, it's boundaryless. It's like water. There's no boundaries, right? And so the boundaries are just not there as much, and I'm seeing that here. So they're saying they're going to let it be as it is, but they're firming up those boundaries a little bit. They're giving a little bit of shape to them, just to give us a little bit of help in perceiving, because we don't have to go blind right now. They're saying we can break down the boundaries for the sake of healthy exchange, right? But we're just going to shape it a little bit so that we can still perceive of what's there. All right. And that'll help, because that way we don't kind of make any mistakes shouting at people and doing weird things because we weren't in our right mind at the moment, for example. They're saying it's going to solidify again much more around once the moon in Taurus kind of blows into town and everything. Things are going to get hardened again, okay? So this is good. Hardened in the sense defined. Things are going to get defined. Your sight is going to get clearer, which is good. We good, because the moon in Taurus is soon. It's next. All right, so just a few more days. About 6 more days, they're saying. Interesting. Well, you know how the energies are going to be in the air, even though moon in Taurus is probably going to be here sooner. But yeah, around 14th, maybe the 16th, right? 14th, 15th, 14th, 15th. All right, so, but yeah. I do feel that some of you are locked into some karmic patterns still. And that's because you have to play those out. They just have to finish. But you know what? It's almost like it feels some of you could actually walk away from this now if you were really about doing that. But it's almost like a part of you keeps wanting to play out the script. And I'm seeing both my hands just being handcuffed, but I really get that it could be over. So let's say, for example, if you're in a connection with somebody and you know that this probably should end, you could walk away from it right now. But maybe you want to engage in being a victim more, the victim consciousness, the story. Maybe this person gives you an energetic exchange that you like because it allows you to be able to, let me just close this window if I can. Gosh. Maybe it gives you a chance to feel a certain way, like I'm a victim, or you have to do this for me because of this, and it's manipulation and control, plain and simple. And they're showing the hands again in the cuffs. So they're like they did this, clink, clink. They just took the cuffs off of the wrists to show, look, it was open all the time. So if you're listening to this and you're of the mindset and saying, I can't leave this connection and this and that, you're very strongly invited to sit down and think about that statement, because I'm really getting here that is a shadow energy that allows you to stay within your own story and to be able to manipulate so that you can be in a position of a victim, right? So just be mindful of that. And the guides are saying, let's see how long it takes you to put those cuffs back on. So that's the thing. They're always taking these cuffs off. When we pray, they take it off. Look, her hands, they're like, doo doo. They take them off. The chains are off, but we put them back on. And that's why, it's interesting, because the guides have always told me, they're like, we know you want to heal everybody and you want and it's true, I just want people's stuff to just go away. So just come, let me help you, let me get rid of it. But they're saying that, and they're right, people have to be ready for it, because you can clear the stuff from their field just like that, and then they're going to bring it right back in because they haven't learned a lesson, or because they want to stay stuck, because there's a payoff to it, right? So this is all the stuff that we can learn about ourselves when we sit down and when we look at ourselves. Okay, so let me just check and see if they're done with the coding stuff. Yeah, they're definitely working behind us, behind the back, the consciousness, looking at the shadow areas. Yeah, and so guys, if you would like to have a shadow reading with me, please go ahead and feel free. Of course, you don't have to. You can get in touch with your shadows in umpteen ways, but you're always free to reach out to me. And I purposefully keep this reading at only $20. It's a steal. And the reason why is because you don't need any more excuses as to why you can't understand who you are or see what's up. If it's a $400 reading, I can see why you would be like, no, I'm not spending that much for this. But if it's cheap, come on. Then it's just a matter of you just not wanting to see, which is, when we're ready, we're ready. But the guides are clearing out. They're just going to give you a little spiral treatment here, coming from the top. Yeah, they're around the third eye. I heard them say the sixth eye, but sixth chakra. But I heard that, so I'm just saying it that way in case anybody needs. And they're just heading down now to the different chakras, just kind of like around you. So if this is your spine, they're like zzz, just doing clearing. Yeah. Oh, okay. In the heart space, they really want you guys to balance your connection with money. In the heart space, a lot of you are very imbalanced when it comes to money exchange, right? And it's in the heart space. Yeah. And I have to be honest, a lot of it is overcharging. Like they were just talking about that, overcharging. Get into the heart. Get into the heart. There's nothing wrong with charging for what you do. It doesn't even have to just be about this. Maybe you're a used car salesman and you're doing too much, right? It's about understanding, what is the purpose of this? What is the purpose of this service? The purpose of this service is to get it to as many people as you can. And when we overcharge, we put up barriers to doing just that. And yes, again, we always have to balance it with self-love and what are our ideas of deservability. And yes, there's always people who can pay for it, but if you keep that mentality like that, so that's how you'll just end up maybe a celebrity reader or nobody who can, or with no one who can afford your services, because When Spirit was like, actually, we put you in this position so that you can just help people, So it's up to you to balance yourself so you don't undercharge, because you still need to make a living. It's understandable. And sometimes people, through their own flawed mentality, they see if something is priced cheaply, they see it as not being of value, but they're just hurting themselves in that way, because that's just not the truth, right? But if you're overcharging, what are we doing? And that's what Spirit is coming through to say. They mentioned it again, actually, in the moon in Aries, or maybe the moon in Pisces reading. One of the Aquarius, Pisces, or Aries, one of those, or two of them, I don't remember. So just please be mindful. Might have been Pisces, moon in Pisces. So please be mindful of that. And that's a conversation you have to have with Spirit. I also see some past lifetime stuff there. Past lifetimes, some people in their past lifetimes. Ooh, got it. Some people, I see a religious connection there too. Some people in their past lifetimes didn't feel that they got what they were due, and here it is in this lifetime. I was like, why is that a religious thing? Because in a past lifetime they were of service and they didn't get paid because of the institution they were with, right? That's man-made stuff, right? To have that idea. And so here it is in this lifetime, and there's a part of them that's unhealed from that lifetime, and now they want to get everything that they're worth. When you're too much in your worth, be careful, because that's a slippery slope. So again, it's coming back to balance. Oh look, they're talking about balanced forces, and as we were in the heart space, they're telling a lot of you to come back to the heart. Come back to the heart. And we can't tell you, well, they can, but I can't tell you. Another person, definitely mainstream media, is not going to be able to tell you what the right price is. You have to know in your heart, in conjunction with Spirit, in conjunction with remembering why you're doing what you're doing. You have to be flexible, because if you're charging a lot and then God's trying to send somebody to you, or a certain group of people to you, they're not going to be able to reach you, because you're going to dismiss them under the idea that, well, if they really were wanting to get this energy work done and this and that, they would manifest this money. But it doesn't work that way all the time. Or it doesn't work this way all the time. God's like, we're sending you this person and we want you to work with them because you have a specific skill set. Can you do this? And if anyway, we have choices. This is coming back to choice. But I'm just letting you know, that's what they're saying, and that's how they're saying it. I'm not sitting here like, I'm just going to sit here and talk about this now. No, they're just literally bringing all this through. And so if that makes you mad, if it makes you indignant, you need to sit with that and think about why, okay? All right. Ooh, it's interesting. As I said that, I can see this little darkness energy starting to move a little bit, and more light is coming through. So start considering how you're blocking yourself. This is what this is all about. How are we blocking ourselves? And they're saying ourselves are meant to be shared with each other, because we are all one at a higher perspective. From down here where we are, we perceive of ourselves as different beings, different people, whatever, but we're really just one. And so start learning to be of service to others, because when you are of service to others, you really are being of service to self in the best way possible, and you will not go hungry. You will be okay. All right? So start thinking about what it is that you're sacrificing when you're in these low vision energies. Low vision, meaning the low self-worth, the victim consciousness, the defensiveness, all that stuff that's blocking your vision. Yeah? Okay. Well, this was a tough reading today. I mean, I feel like later when I go and rewatch it for myself, I'll be probably feeling all types of seen. No! Any hoodles? Anything else, guides? Throat chakra. They're going to open up our throat chakras, and there's going to be a little bit of a test run. So throat chakras are going to be open. Just think of it as being open now, and whatever you comes through will come through. You're probably going to speak a lot more eloquently, a lot more efficiently, a lot more profusely, but again, coming back to choices. What you choose to talk about is up to you. So the question is, do you want to talk about some high vibe stuff, or do you want to be in some low vibe stuff? You're the vessel, you're the mouthpiece. So what energies are you allowing to come up and out of you and out into the world? Are you going to bless the world with positive energy, motivation, healing, that can-do attitude, teaching, or are you going to bless, quote unquote, the world with your negative ideas about things, with judgment, with gossip, with uncertainty? So we have to think about these things. This is balance. This is exactly what the guides were trying to say, and I was struggling to get on earlier. Choice. The thing about choice is that when you have a real, true choice, it really comes with a lot of responsibility, because then you don't have people forcing you into one thing. There's conditioning, of course, but then you really learn trial by error. And so that's how God works. I've given you this mouthpiece, these hands, this brain, this everything, these conditions. What do you do with it? And then you have to live with what you do. And when we put things out there that create an imbalance and that hurt people, and that I don't want to say hurt people, because sometimes the hurt it's not a strike against you. When you look at the person's soul curriculum, you see there was a debt being balanced, whatever. But when you put things out there and it creates an imbalance, that's the better way of saying it, that's karma. When you rob somebody of their ability to make a choice of their own, that creates karma. And so you see, you really have to be mindful that nature has its way of balancing things out, and it's called karmic debt. But again, as I had spoken about in a much earlier reading, there are many ways that karmic debt can be, quote unquote, repaid. And you may be surprised. It's not always about you coming down and experiencing the same thing. Sometimes it's about you coming down and saying, I want to be part of a positive change for this theme or this issue that I introduced into the world before. For example, I robbed people of homes in another lifetime. This lifetime, I'm going to come down and I'm going to become a realtor so I can get people in homes. And guess who you're going to be working with again? Those same souls or some new ones, right? So, and then of course, you can also choose to come down and have your own stuff repossessed or dispossessed, home invasion, all sorts of stuff. So that's why when we see things happening to people, we have to realize we can't judge. Because sometimes it is karmic stuff, and sometimes somebody else is creating karma in their actions towards them, right? So anyway, I'm going to end this reading because I feel like we can just go on talking for 4 hours, and I really don't want the readings to be too long, because I know you guys have stuff to do. I say this, what is it after? Oh, I'm not trying to rush you guys. The guys like, I mean, when you God, when you say we're done. But anyway, on a serious note, I do want to let you know though that all of the stuff that we talked about, we're just talking about it, we're just discussing it. The guides are bringing it up. It's food for thought. Contemplate on it. But for reals, your takeaway is start by getting in touch with yourself. And whenever we want to get in touch with ourselves, or get to know somebody, or get to know a system or something that's happening, what do you do first? You observe. You observe over a period of time and you take notes. So hey, maybe for the next 48 hours or the next week, if you're a real G, just look at all of the thoughts you think in a day, and look at the things that manifest in your life, the people, what do they say, what are they doing, what are the events, how is your life going? Like, start looking at it. And once you collect data, the next thing we usually do is we start to observe patterns. We look for patterns. We identify patterns. That's the word. Start identifying the patterns that you have. And this should be non-judgmental. Not like, oh, there I go, spending again. No, it's just like, oh, okay, I noticed that I spent over so and so amount of money here. You saying that's too much is you putting a value judgment on it. And then you probably vilify yourself. So that's where you have to come in and with your own cute little scissors, trim the excess stuff. Like we said, don't get into the story about it. Just notice, hey, I noticed that that day I got into an argument with my boss and I ate a lot. I spent this amount of money, and across the week I noticed that I tended to spend more money on food when I had a bad day and I ate more. Start noticing that. I noticed that whenever somebody says something to me that makes me feel a certain type of way, I get defensive and I keep it inside, but then I lash out at my pet later. Aw, I hope no one does that. Your pet fish. You're just railing at your pet fish. But you see what I mean. So start with the observation. And the guides are saying, and don't forget us. Don't forget us. In fact, that should be step one. When you're like, okay, everyone, I'm ready. Let's get started. And then just go with it. Just observing, not judging, and not judging others. Stay out of other people's business. They're trying to do them. Let them do them. And I'm going to tell you, because I look at people's energy fields. That's literally what I do. You don't know what these people are doing. You may be like, oh, they're all off. They're this and that. And then they come to me. I'm like, oh, no, you're right where you need to be. Because I saw in these last 2 lifetimes that the guides are highlighting that you did ABC. This time you're supposed to do EFG. And you're doing EFG, and a lot of people will not understand, but you're actually creating balance for your soul, even though it looks like you're doing a little bit too much right here. Plus you have a soul contract with this person to treat them this way so that they can learn something about how they treated you in another lifetime. We don't know what people are working on, so we need to focus on ourselves instead. It doesn't mean that you can't look at what other people are doing and note that what they're doing is bringing them harm and making them depressed or whatever. And so your takeaway is that, hey, that looks like it's not fun. I'll try to avoid doing that. You can definitely do that. But when you get to a place where you're starting to create judgments about these people, whether you're aware of it or not, you're starting to downgrade them and who they are in your eyes, quote unquote, that's a level of hubris. It's a little bit like putting yourself above God. And, it's like, that's not what we're here for. Okay? Spirit is coming through with the balance. Get balanced. The more we balance ourselves on the inside, the more that balance comes to the collective. Okay? Okay. Anything else, guides? They're so funny. They're saying stay favored. All right, we're favored. I love that. Oh my gosh, there's these animals next door. Yo, I'm sorry. We all love it, but I can't. I'm like in Animal Crossing right now. Okay, anyway, I'm sorry. See, no one's perfect. And scene. Just kidding. All right, guys. So if you have any questions, you know where to find me. If you'd like a personal reading with me or an energetic healing session, which would be via Zoom under the title Intuitive Counseling, please do check my Etsy page. Everything is there. And until then, God bless you. And thank you for staying as in tuned as you have. We all love you here. And yes, to whoever is eating the cookies right now or thinking they should have cookies, get the cookies. I'm hearing brownies. Oh my God, I hope that I get to have some cookies and brownies too. Your guides are saying, yes, do it. And the popcorn, okay? All right. Love you guys. Bye. Mwah.